Happy new comic book day. Happy holidays, webheads. Guys, hopefully you're having a wonderful day. You're finishing up your holiday shopping. I know it's a hectic time, but thank you for taking the time for watching this week's episode of Spider Slayer's Comic Book Haul. Fans, this is episode 563, and this is the video series, of course, where I show you what I pick up at my comic shop, which is Comic Central, located in the city of Sanford, in the Central Florida area. So if you guys are ever in the area, make sure you stop by. Tell Mike Spider Slayer sent you, and you'll find some great stuff there, especially for the holidays. So let's get started with this week's haul. And that always begins with the mysterious black bag. That's right, guys. The comics are inside. I'm not gonna lie, this week there was some great stuff at the comic shop, but I had to dial it back. I had to contain myself because I had to go out and get Christmas presents. It's my wife's birthday tomorrow, so I had to scale it back. But next week, look for a possibly big haul because it's after the holidays. You got gift cards, you got all kinds of great stuff. So you could see an amplified haul for next week. So I stuck to the limits this week. I held the budget. And here we go. Here is the comics that I picked up this week. It's still a hefty stack though, but it's just not as large as it could have been, right? All right, so let's get started with this week's books. Let's check it out. From Scout Comics, this is Ghost Planet. This was a book that kind of piqued my interest a little bit when I saw it on the FOC. So I was like, you know what? It's an independent book. Why not check it out? Here's some of the interior artwork inside. May not be the best, but it's kind of interesting to see the color tones here. I'm wondering if it kind of represents the color mood of what's going on in the comic book or whatnot. But this could be a fun story, and seeing what these, you know, these different astronauts go through, right? So that could be a lot of fun. So yeah, Ghost Planet issue 1. Another book that's been really good this year has been Rogue Sun. We're on issue 9 with this issue. Really solid series about this boy who recently got powers and is learning to become a superhero. He's got to kind of carry his father's legacy and whatnot. It's been a fun ride. He's been lately going back to school to see if he can kind of relive his old days before he became this superhero. And I think it's hard for him to balance life, right? And being this superhero. So it's been an interesting story. I love the character interactions in there. And we've got introduced to a new villain in the last issue. And there's things starting to heat up in the book. So interesting issue, or interesting series. Rogue Sun, again, issue number 9. All right, so now we got a few DC books here to talk about. We have a Deceased, War of the Undone Gods. This is issue 5 of 8. So yeah, looking forward to this one as we're, you know, past that halfway mark. It looks like that maybe Lobo might be the one that can actually save the day when it comes to the gods taking over the DC universe and destroying everybody. Darkseid is has the anti-life equation within him. Kara is another one that has the anti-life equation inside of her, and she's just disintegrating everybody as well. And when you read the pages of this comic book, and it's just a jaw dropper of a comic. So I'm looking forward to this latest issue. I felt like it's been a little bit slow. The story's been a little bit jumpy. We'll see what happens. All right. Another book that doesn't disappoint. This is World's Finest. This is issue 10. Here right now we got the Joker involved in this comic book. It looks like he kidnapped the boy Thunder. Will we get a reveal in this issue on who that character actually is? I don't know. The Dan Mora artwork is always a lot of fun, and I love all the different characters sprinkled within the comic book. The comic book itself. Right, they're sprinkled in there. There's a lot of advertisements in this comic. Got a lot of Superman going on in there, and I love the team up with all the other characters also. Looking forward to this. World's Finest. Hard to believe we're on issue 10 already. All right. So here's a big book for a lot of you fans out there. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. The Dawn of the DCU. This is issue 7 of 7. The quality of this book is absolutely phenomenal. The price of this one was $6, so you better get a good premium format comic. The pages inside are really good. The artwork looks really nice. There looks like there's this big battle being ready to commence between Dick Grayson and Deathstroke, which has actually been teased on and off through this entire book, and Deathstroke has been doing some crazy crap in this series as well. So we're going to see how this leads into the new year going forward and seeing if DC can improve overall as a whole. I feel like they do have a handful of great comic books, but there's a lot of characters missing from their own independent series, and that's what I want to see from more of DC Comics. And maybe, hopefully maybe, I would love them to lower the price point on some of their books, get them back to more of that $3.99 price point. But we'll see what happens with that. Looking forward to it. Then we have another book. I can't talk today. Then we have another book written by Mark Waid. We have Batman vs. Robin. This is a solid series. There's a lot of supernatural, like magic stuff and dealing with the devil Neza and stuff like that. And I feel like this is a good read, but not as strong as, say, World's Finest, right? To me, that has an impact. This does tie into World's Finest, which is kind of cool because that's where the devil Neza character came from. Again, love the artwork in this book as well, but we already got the revelation of Alfred and who he was in this comic as well. And I felt like with him out of it, now it takes away a little bit of the heart out of the comic. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how long Damian is evil for as well. So yeah, Batman vs. Robin issue 4. All right, next we have Nightwing. This is issue 99, one before the big 100. That's right, guys. This story is kind of continuing off of the newest story arc that was just launched before Night Might made his interruption within the comic book. We've gotten to see a relationship really developing here between Nightwing and Barbara Gordon, which I think it's interesting. And I think they have to get, was it Falcone? I think he's in the witness protection program now because he has a lot of dirt on Blockbuster, and they're trying to figure out all the stuff that happened. The artwork is really well done, always phenomenal by Redondo here, and it's just a pleasure to look at this comic. I love the facial expressions. So one away from the big 100. We'll see what happens in that. Will Dick and Barbara get married? I don't know. Will he propose? I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see what happens. All right. Now it looks like we're getting to some independent comics. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is issue 3, the Saturday morning adventures. How can you go wrong with that, guys? This one has Casey Jones in it, so that's why I was more excited than probably all the other ones combined, because I loved Casey as a character. I love how he was that badass and teaming up with the Turtles. Here we got some April in there. So yeah, if you're a Turtles fan, how can you not? How can you not deny the purchase of this comic book, right? Got the turtle van in action here. Yeah, this is great, man. Looking forward to this issue. There you have it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 3. All right, next we have Traveling to Mars. This is issue 2, written by Mark Russell. This is a great story. This first issue was all about this guy who has cancer, who got chosen to go to Mars. It's a one-way trip. He's going to die up there. If we are the first one that represents Mars, right, that the Americans take over Mars, we get all these benefits for it. So this guy was chosen to go up there, and it's a really kind of a sad story to see his life and how he never actually said goodbye to his mom and whatnot. It's a dense comic book, but it's seeing the narration of the main character because he's by himself. There's nobody else with him except some like assistant robots and whatnot. And in this issue, it looks like he's on the ship, and maybe you get to see more interactions leading up to that point. I'm very curious to see what happens once he does get to Mars. So really interesting story. I love the first issue of this. Traveling to Mars issue 2. This one's done by Ablaze. They put out some great stuff. All right, guys, real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to the Facebook group. Guys, if you want to become part of a wonderful comic book community, it's basically an extension of my channel. Just go onto Facebook, search for Comic Book Corner 2.0. Webheads Unite. Once you put in the request, I'll approve you, and then you will have access to all of the community members upon my channel, where you can discuss anything and everything when it comes to comic books, of course within reason. Be respectful to one another, and it is awesome, guys. And you never know when you could be shouted out on future hauls, and once the year gets going again, I'll do the shout outs some more on a regular basis. It's just a busy time of the year. That's why I didn't get a chance to do the After the Pool series this week, because I read all my comics, didn't have time to shoot the video. Doing a lot of stuff with the family right now because, again, they're home for the holidays. So, all right, let's continue. Let's talk about the next indie book here. I wound up getting Vanish. This is issue, what are we on here? 4. Issue 3 took a really dark turn for our main character. His name is Oliver, who is supposedly the chosen one to stop all the bad guys that was following the original Vanish. Our main hero killed that character when he was a kid, and now he's been living on Earth. He's been going through withdrawals. He's been taking drugs to kind of subside all the pain that he's been going through. And recently he came across one of the disciples from the original bad guy, killed him, he absorbed his magic, and it made him feel all powerful. And now it seems like he wants more magic, and I feel like this is a foreshadowing of him becoming evil, and now the people that is closest to him are going to have to take him under. The artwork is so well done in this book. I absolutely love it. Some of Ryan Stegman's best artwork. This book is so dark, so gritty. I love the trailing eyes that's on the characters. I've said this already twice. It kind of reminds me of like God of War or a Dark Souls video game. I think that seems to be the trend of what's going on in some of these games right now. But really great stuff. I can't wait to see what happens in this latest issue. I love this cover as well. This is gorgeous. So yeah, Vanish issue 4. So what came with that, of course, I had to get the Vanish issue 4 Spawn cover, where we get to see him, Oliver, and Spawn together on the cover together, because I'm on this Vanish bandwagon right now. And then I wound up also getting the foil variant. So I had to get that one also. So yeah, all about the Vanish right now. Kind of like how I was with Something Is Killing the Children, or what's it called, Stray Dogs, you know, jumping on that bandwagon of those cool comics right now, you know. All right, so now it looks like I think we have one more independent, no, 2 more independents I think to talk about. And the next one is Something Is Killing the Children, issue 27. Erica Slaughter is currently getting hunted down by the House of Cutter, and she has everyone that she's come across is she's endangering at this point, and she's trying to figure out this mystery of this monster that really did all the killing in this current town right now. And the artwork is always so unique and different. That's the Cutter girl that's after, you know, Erica Slaughter. It's such a wonderful series. I love this book. When it's on, man. And I'm so looking forward to this. Can't wait to see what happens. All right, and then I Hate Fairyland issue 2 by Scotty Young. You know what? This was on the FOC. I'm probably not going to read this. I was not a fan of the original volume. I did not like issue 1. I'm probably not going to read issue 2. I'm probably going to wind up selling this or maybe giving it away in a future giveaway or something like that. If you love Scotty Young's writing, I do, but when it comes to this type, it's just too over the top for me. I'm not into it. So yeah, I'm probably going to pass on reading this one. All right, now we get into Marvel, and we have, I think, almost all Spider-Man stuff except for like 2 books. Is that really right? I don't know. So the first thing here is the X-Men annual. Looking forward to this because it dives into the Firestar character. I'm a huge fan of Firestar. Followed her ever since the show Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and I wish I would see her in more comic books in general, and you don't get to see her all that much. Recently, she's been voted onto the X-Men team, and now we're just going to dive deeper into her history. Here's some of the artwork in here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. I think Angelica Jones is a great character. I'm not fond of them changing her costume, but I get it. You know, everything is updated, everything changes these days, and you kind of just roll with the punches, right? And there's some more of the artwork right there. So I'm looking forward to her story and seeing, you know, how this annual develops and if it fleshes out the character a little bit more. All right, then we got Strange issue 9. I felt like this last issue, issue 8, was a little bit of a filler issue, has to deal with the Blasphemy Gang a little bit, a lot of talking heads, not much was going on. And I think now the action is going to ramp up. I think we get the original artist back on it as well. And yeah, it does. If you open it up, you can see here that there is a lot going on in the pages. And I hope these two do get back together, and I know there is going to be another Doctor Strange series coming out. I think it was announced in the solicits, so we do know that he comes back alive. Check out this one page right here, guys. Look at that art right there. That's pretty dark shit right there. That's cool, man. All right, so next, let's talk about some Spider-Man. There's definitely some Spider-Man stuff that came out this week. There's like 3 tie-ins. And yeah, there's 3 tie-ins to Dark Web, and then we also got Spider-Man The Lost Hunt. This is issue 2. This has to deal with the revenge on Kraven the Hunter's death, about another hunter searching for Spider-Man. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun there. So let's check it out. We got that going on. And I love how the Hunter is breaking down the mind of the Amazing Spider-Man. I think that is so cool. Check out cool facial expressions there. And once you break down his mind and you break down his relationships, then you just break him down to nothing, and then that's how you can beat him, right? So yeah, Spider-Man The Lost Hunt issue 2. And then I had to get this variant because you have to. This is like an homage to the Web of Spider-Man issue 1. And it's got the, I guess, the PS4 costume on there or whatnot. So I was like, yes, I have to buy this. There was only like 2 copies of it on the stands, and I was like, yep, buying it. And again, I paid cover price for it, so that's cool. All right, then we go into the Dark Web stuff. So the one that I'm most anticipating out of all these is Dark Web, Mary Jane, and Black Cat. I love Jed McKay's writing. I think it's really well done. Gotta love the cover art here from J. Scott Campbell. And I want to see how these two are teaming up and why are they together? And why does it look like that Mary Jane's got some superpowers here? What is happening right now? Something is up. Does it spill the beans on what is going on in the story of the main book, on why she broke up with Peter? Maybe it explains that. But it looks like we get to see Mary Jane and Black Cat doing battle against Madeline Pryor's creatures in Manhattan. This is interesting. Yeah, she's got powers, dude. Huh. It's like face a tiger, you just hit the jackpot? What's happening? Huh. Very curious there. We'll see. All right. Then we have the one that I'm least expecting. This is Miss Marvel, issue 1, Dark Web tie-in. This is Miss Marvel came across Chasm in the last issue, and he's like, I'm going to trap you in my little cell. See what happens in the next issue of Miss Marvel issue 1, you know? I don't see how there can be a lot of story here, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a loose tie-in, I feel. But maybe it'll surprise you. I don't know. All right. And then we have Dark Web Gold Goblin. This is issue 2. I loved issue 1. I really thought we got a good idea of the psyche of Norman Osborn up until this point. And we get to see how he has these constant visions and things like that, right? So, and we get to see how he kind of wants to go the straight and narrow and how he wants to be the good guy here too. So I don't know. We'll see how this continues. I thought it was written really well, and I'm excited to see the outcome of this and how this also ties into the Dark Web, because in the last issue of Amazing Spider-Man, I think issue 15, we got to see Norman Osborn get his ass kicked against Chasm on top of it. So there's a lot of moving pieces in this Dark Web event. Do these tie-ins add a better story? Hopefully they do. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the event, right? So we'll see. And there you guys have it. There's the haul for this week. Not an overly large haul, but I'm happy to bring it to you. All new stuff, no real back issues this week, but be prepared for next week because it could be quite large. So guys, as always, if you love the content, please, I'll leave you more content right here for you to click on. In fact, this is my top 10 most anticipated comics for next week, the last week of the year. And if you love the content, just make sure you hit that like button, or pow that like button, pow that subscribe button. And as always, guys, keep buying, keep collecting, but most importantly, always read your comics. Happy New Comic Book Day. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. All that stuff. And guys, I will see you real soon. Thank you so much.